What's up guys, welcome to another Patreon Q&A video. As always, if you want to participate in these Q&As or ask your questions, make sure to check out the Patreon in the description, which include various other benefits while supporting the channel directly. Now onto the video. Everyone is sleeping on Tarashi, including Tarashi. Who do you think he will face and will he surprise us? So my current prediction is he's going to face the other clown, Okubo, and I kind of have them two being the final round. So I have Lolong and Waka fighting after the current round that just got revealed. Then I have Oma vs Fade, you know, the Tiger vs matchup. And then I have Okubo vs Tarashi for the final. And I do think Tarashi is going to lose, but I do think he's going to be a lot stronger than he, is perceiving to be. We got him talking about how he's, the second weakest on the team alongside Nicholas. And then as we saw, as Tarashi saw as well, Nicholas, while going for the kill, is actually much stronger than what he first thought. And Tarashi could very well be the Tiger vs as well, be like the biggest upset, the biggest shock of the whole tournament. He's being one of the most mysterious characters since the start, but I'm still going to go for my prediction that he's going to lose against Okubo. But if anything, I hope it's a crazy high difficulty fight with, blood and a whole lot of other crazy shit happening. So Lolong is OP. What does that mean for? I don't think even I could beat him easily about Misasa when Misasa destroyed Yumi. So my understanding of that is Misasa isn't really trash and Lolong can't low diff him. He feels, or as said here, he can beat him but not easily. So my assumption for that is he can't just walk in and one tap Misasa. There'll actually be a pretty decent back and forth. But I do think, Lolong's going to be quite a bit above Misasa, potentially stronger than Kano, but if not, definitely on the same tier as Kano, who is definitely the strongest in the tournament so far. So Lolong as a whole is going to be an absolute beast, and all that really means is Misasa isn't a jobber that's going to get one tapped. Before I continue, make sure you're subscribed, and if you're an absolute mad lad, check out the other stuff in the description like the Discord and Patreon. Now back to the video. Desert Island situation. You're given a box that can play any movie and video game that's ever been made. You pick 5 movies and video games. What do you pick? Well, now this is a question. Let me think about it. 4 movies, I'm going to go for the Dodgeball movie as probably my favorite comedy movie. Inception, one of my other favorite movies. Probably Grown Ups, the first one as well. For horror movies, I've got to pick one, so I'd say the first Saw movie. And then an anime movie, let's go for the Dragon Ball Z BoJack Unbound movie, which is probably my favorite Dragon Ball movie. But yeah, those are the 5 movies. For video games, if I also have an internet connection, I'd go for Overwatch, Black Ops 2, Dark Souls, Cyberpunk, because since I've bought it, I haven't really played it much, so I still want to play that. And probably a Grand Theft Auto. Maybe I'll just go for Grand Theft Auto 5, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, those are my 5 video games. Interesting question. What part of manga are you anticipating the most for the Record of Ragnarok anime adaptation? So definitely, the fights, but apart from that, specific moments, probably, Adam's great lines at the end of his fight, and probably the climax of Sasaki's fight with, it does feel good to win. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Probably my 2 most anticipated moments. Unless we do get the, the Jack vs Hercules fight, which is probably my favorite fight next to Adam vs Zeus, and I just love every moment of that, especially the walkout scene for Jack. What do you think Lolong's style is? So with us seeing him actually dodge and attack Nicholas in Justice Boy last chapter, I feel that he's going to have a similar mixed martial art fighting style to Okubo somewhat now, with maybe some crazy super foresight or some other super speed / reading ability, which would be pretty cool. But I also get the assumption he's going to be a very savage fighter when he fights. As we know, Jirota was described as and called the Gentle King, and then we had the whole thing last chapter of Carlos saying the one we need to stop is Lolong. I think when Lolong fights Sirius, he's gonna be an absolute monster and gonna be some freestyle random martial art attacks out of nowhere, or maybe just raw Street Fighter skill or something crazy like that. I get the feeling he may not have a single specific style, and maybe a, combination of, various basics of styles, which would be pretty cool. Do you think the tournament will end in a draw now because the last fight was called off, so now there are only 12? Yes, I actually do think it's going to be a draw now. So I think the current fight, Dong Chen will win. I think Lo Long will defeat Waka. So there's 2 wins for Team Purgatory. And then for, Team Kangen, Oma will win against the Tiger Vessel and Okubo will win against Tarashi. And that will result in the tournament being a draw. Unless they add like one more fighter, because there's more than enough fighters, hanging around in the stands that could fight for Kangen, like Cosmo. We got Croak against Side Chilling, all these other fighters, so maybe they could have another fight. And we did already have mentioned that Team Purgatory already has or does have other people waiting in the background that could fight as well, so maybe we could get another fight after the official ones have gone out to conclude the tournament, which would be pretty cool, because seeing the tournament as a draw may be a little bit of a letdown and may get the feeling that this tournament was pointless in the overall plot. In Record of Ragnarok, who, fictional or not, but has to be a human, would you send to fight against the god if you could make some adjustments to the Valkyrie's fighter list? I'll probably move out one of the Japanese fighters, maybe Raiden or Kintoki, and add in Alexander the Great, or maybe another character like Yudra or something from Baki, which would be pretty cool. But from human side, I'll probably pick Alexander the Great on a little bit of thought. Do you think we'll get an advance versus advance when Faye versus Oma fight? Well, considering Faye I think is the Tiger Vessel, a lot of things are pointing to Faye being the Tiger Vessel, meaning he does have the advance. So yeah, I do see an advance versus advance battle coming out. But the question is, who will actually pull it out first? I get the sense that Oma might pull it out first, and we'll see that Faye is actually dominating him at the start, resulting in Oma to pull out his advance with Nico style, and then Faye being like, oh yeah, I can do that as well, and then continue dominating him until Oma needs to, pull out maybe some stuff he learned from the Kuro clan over the 2 years to eventually overcome Faye. But whatever that is, that fight is going to be absolute greatness, cannot wait. Now on to the last question. If you had to say out of all of Kangen, who do you think has improved the most? So fighters on Team Kangen who have improved the most so far, it's definitely Ryuto. He went from like a bottom tier Kangen fighter that would probably lose against like 90% of the other people in the Annihilation tournament to someone who can actually beat, Bokinchi Robinson and be considered like a more mid-tier fighter, which is pretty insane. And what do you expect? He trained with Kuroki over like a year and a half. It wasn't the full 2 years, but he trained with him for a good portion of that time. So of course Ryuto is the most improved. Gaolang, not really, he's really fixing his injury, then got his, new Divine Fist. Julius kind of improved a little bit, but not to the level that Ryuto did. Justice Boy probably got the, least improvement. And yeah, out of everyone we've seen so far, probably Ryuto, but there is potential that, Cosmo could have been the most improved if we get to see his, current strength or current, full power in Kangen Mega at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for today's Q&A video. As always, shout out to the people who asked these questions, and shout out to all the other people who have joined the Patreon, absolute mad lads. But yep, that's it guys, peace.